Good afternoon. I want to take a minute to invite our parents to Meet the Teacher Night tonight, which runs from 5 to 7:15. Just a reminder that Meet the Teacher Night for students with the last names A through M is from 5 to 6, and then we're going to take a 15-minute break, and students N through Z will be from 6:15 to 7:15. I also want to remind parents that while Meet the Teacher Night is for all of our students and all of their families, we are asking that families limit it to your student and one or two parents if you need to have both parents come. Obviously, that's because we want to limit the number of people we have in the building at any given time. Knowing that we are limiting the number of people that we have in the building, and knowing that there may be some families who want to know what our classrooms look like and some of the things that we're doing to prepare for the beginning of school, I thought that I would shoot a quick video in a classroom to show our families some of the things that we are preparing for, as well as talk about a few of the things that are going to happen at the beginning of the school year. So to start, you will see we are in one of our elementary classrooms, and you will see that we have the desks spread out as much as we could, 6 feet in most cases. If not, they're all pretty close to 6 feet, and I would say that none in our classrooms, or in any of our classrooms, are closer than 4 feet apart. You will also notice that in each classroom we have a hand sanitizer station right next to the door. We have also ordered buckets of disinfectant wipes that each teacher will have in their classroom. There's 450 in each bucket that we have. We've got containers of hand sanitizer that we will be putting in each classroom, and we have pumps that can go on these. And we also have cloth masks for any student who may need a cloth mask. We also have surgical ones. I just didn't bring those with me. So those are some of the precautions that we have taken in the classroom. I did send a survey out to parents, and I appreciate the responses. We had 74 responses. I'm estimating that that's between 120 or 150 students being represented, with some families obviously having more than one student. And so the results of that survey, I want to be fully transparent with our parents what those were. 64% of the people responded wanted us to do face-to-face learning as long as we possibly can. And I agree that that is what is in the best interest of our students. The other thing that I noticed is that, and give me 1 second, I'm just going to look at my notes. 70% of our families had no childcare issues if we were to go to remote, and 84% of our families would be able to have childcare arranged within 1 week, which I thought was good for allowing us to continue with face-to-face, knowing that we would not be putting a majority of our families in a bad situation if we were to go to remote learning. So if we go to remote learning, and I'll talk about the IDPH guidelines in a minute, I do want to show some of the things that we are prepared for with that. So we've bought Wi-Fi hotspots for any student who does not have internet at home and may need internet. These are perfect, they're filtered, they will run Google Classroom, and we've got 20 of these for students who may need internet access. We've purchased new Chromebooks for some of the classrooms, and every classroom will have them, and we've got cases for every classroom in case our Chromebooks need to go home with our students. Now, one of the reasons I sent the survey out is because it's not hidden from anybody that schools are going to remote, and one of the reasons they're going to remote is because the guidelines put by IDPH are pretty restrictive on schools and will make it a little bit difficult to implement, or the process will be difficult for us. That doesn't mean we're not willing to do it. We're absolutely willing to do it to keep our kids in session, but I do want to be upfront with our parents as far as what we are being required to do by IDPH. So any student who comes to the office with any COVID symptom, that would be a sore throat, that would be a cough, a fever, anything listed in the list of COVID symptoms, we are being required by IDPH to send that student home for 10 days. And so we realize that this is something that we are going to have to do, but it's something that we will do it because we will follow the guidelines. We want this to be a safe learning environment. I want you as parents and I want our staff to realize that we're doing everything we can to keep everybody safe while still doing our best to keep students in the building. The newest guidelines, as I put in the survey, is that not only will we be sending the student home, but we are required to send their siblings home as well for a 14-day quarantine. And that is in case the student with a COVID symptom were to have COVID, then we wouldn't want their siblings in the classrooms with other students. Again, that's an IDPH guideline. Now, there are ways that the students can get back into the classroom sooner. One of those ways would be to get a negative COVID test. And one of those ways would be to get an alternate diagnosis from a doctor. For example, student comes to the office with a sore throat, student goes to the doctor, it's strep, prescribed antibiotics, they're back in the classroom within 24 hours. If your student has a reoccurring condition such as allergies or migraines, I encourage you to call your doctor, get a note that says your student has this diagnosis and will experience these certain symptoms. And then if we have that, we don't have to send your student home. I also want to make sure that we clarify that, because I know that rumors and that the rumor mill gets going. Just because we send a student home does not mean the student has COVID. In fact, the majority of the time when we send somebody home, it's not going to be COVID. We're just erring on the side of safety for your students and for our staff, which is something I feel that we have to do. So those are an update on the IDPH guidelines. To be 100% honest, those change by the week, and then we could have different guidelines next week, and I'll make sure to keep our parents updated. But it's also an overview of what our classrooms will look like and some of the precautions that we've put into place and some of the things that we've done to make both online learning and face-to-face learning good for your students. I hope that we see everybody, or at least we hope we see at least one parent and their student today at Meet the Teacher Night from 5 to 7:15. And just wanted to remind the parents of the remote learning students that we have a meeting at 5:45 in the gym. If you have any questions about anything I talked about, please find me tonight during Meet the Teacher Night, and I would welcome the opportunity to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.